Hey.
Hello.
I'm Lucienne Diver,
I'm Amy Christine Parker.
and we are here to audition for YA Rebels. And first, we're going to introduce ourselves, and then we're going to interview each other. So, Amy, do you want to start?
Okay, let's see. My name is Amy Christine Parker. I've written the book Gated that came out this August. Take it away, Lucienne.
She forgot to mention a really awesome book about a girl who grew up in a cult, but we will get to that. And I'm Lucienne Diver. I write the Vamp series of young adult novels for Flux Books. So we're going to start. I'm going to interview Amy. And my first question is, Amy, what do you want to tell the world about me?
Oh, about you. Well,
About
first of
me.
all, I'm going to tell about your book since you didn't do that either.
Okay.
Lucienne's book is pretty awesome. It's about a fashionista who is undead. She gets bitten by a boy she has a serious makeout session with and wakes up in the ground, has to claw her way out, which ruins her manicure. She is a very cool heroine and a very great YA rebel. As far as Lucienne goes, she is extremely cool. She met her husband in a haunted house when they both worked there, which I think is awesome, considering that I can barely walk in one without running out screaming.
My dogs apparently want to make an appearance on camera. I don't know
This
if
is like
they're
a
showing up.
four-person YA audition.
This is Mickey. He doesn't write, but he does like to run across my keyboard occasionally. So, Amy, since you write about a cult and the end of the world, are you now or have you ever been part of a cult?
Not that I know of. But if I were
You know
brainwashed,
of.
maybe I wouldn't know. No, I have not. I have a pretty boring, regular suburban life, and that's probably why I wrote about it, because it's so far from my own life.
And could you see yourself ever becoming part of a cult? And if so, what kind? What are you cultish about?
What am I cultish about? Let's see. I don't know. Maybe books. Books would probably be it. Considering I'm a writer, I think that would be the only cult I would follow.
That's a good answer. And I know you didn't ask me, but it would have to be Joss Whedon and Benedict Cumberbatch
Oh,
right now.
but see, that's a good cult too. Joss Whedon, I would be in that one too. I would be in a couple of cults.
Okay. And what is the most rebellious thing that you've ever done?
Oh gosh. Okay. Let's see. Well, when I was 13, this is a pretty good one. My mom was at church, and I stole the keys to the car out of her purse. Went out to the parking lot, pulled a bunch of guys out because I thought I would be very cool and win them over by driving her car. So I pulled it out, drove it around the parking lot with my friends in the car with me. Then I went to pull into a parking space and hit another car. And I was so scared to say anything that I actually backed up, parked the car in a different spot in the parking lot. My mom didn't notice. I took the keys back to the purse and said nothing for a week. Unfortunately, the church deacons went through the parking lot and checked all the cars for white paint from this lady's car and figured out it was me. So that was probably one of my first big rebellious things that made my parents go, What about you?
Well, according to my parents, it's when my sister and I had a massive snowball fight and used our screen door as a shield. And as you can, probably guess, screen doors are not really good for shielding snowballs. So a good portion of them ended up in our house, and then we used our vacuum, our regular old vacuum, to vacuum up all of the water. And as you can imagine, there was short circuiting involved. There was the smell, the nice electric smell of, it was fun.
You're
My
like
parents
you
were
didn't kill
very
yourself.
thrilled.
They come home to electrocuted kids.
Yeah, they were pretty thrilled. The other thing we used to do is my mother never kept sweets in the house. And so we would actually, because she was always on a diet, so we would actually drink Pepto-Bismol for fun. And my parents swear they never kept that much Pepto-Bismol in the house. And we said, yeah, that's because we, and it was never in the house. So you're right. So let's see, what else can we, okay. I've maybe seen your best costume ever, but that's something I wanted to ask you. What is the best costume? Like if you put on a role or you put on a costume, what is the best costume you've ever worn?
That I've ever worn. I have a history of bad costumes, actually. My husband beats me every year, and he won't tell me what he's wearing this year. It's a huge secret, because he outdoes me at every turn. And Lucienne can attest, and I'm going to tell about my worst costumist and my best, because they aren't good. When I first met Lucienne and I was trying to look really cool, I came to her Halloween party and decided to come as Medusa and put dollar store snakes in my hair that fell out. So when I came, no one knew what I was, because I had like 3 snakes just dangling in my hair, and you couldn't even see them, so it was pretty bad. But you have a great costume, so you have to tell your best.
Oh, my best. Well, I'm a costume addict, so that's not really fair. As Amy said, my husband and I met as actors at a haunted house. And one of the best costumes I ever did was part of the haunted house. I was the Slump Bitch. And I had a terrible accent, which I probably can't do anymore. But it was very sort of gypsy-esque, and I was a swamp bitch, and no, I'm not doing it well at all. Oh my goodness, my acting days are behind me. But I had a lot of fun doing that, and I looked moldy and everything else as somebody who just came out of the swamp. And my favorite moment from that is there was this, I don't know, 12, 13-year-old boy, I guess, that thought this was his best pickup line. He said, "I bet your mom's cute too."
See, she always manages to look sexy, and then I'll pick costumes like a midget, where I take a pillowcase and put it over the top part of my body, and then like make the pants and the shirt the bottom part where my legs are. And that was another one of my costumes. So that just tells you my history with costumes is pee poor.
But your Resident Evil Extinction costume, that was pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, had I lost about 50 more pounds, it would have been perfect.
It was awesome. Don't you listen to her.
All right, well, you have to tell me who you dated that your dad hated, because of course, if we're going to be rebels, we have to know these things.
Oh, well, I can't tell that story. No, when I was, I did theater for a lot of years, and from the time I was 14, and nobody knew how old I was because I was just cracking jokes with everybody else, and I ended up dating this guy that was way too old for me because he didn't at first know how old I was. Not that I was hiding it or anything, he just assumed I was his age, and I just assumed he was younger, and I don't know, and then he found out he was 20, and I was younger, and my parents didn't like that. I was younger, and my parents just were not at all happy about that. It was a very short-lived relationship.
Oh, that's pretty good. See, I fell in love with the older guy, but he never saw me. I was like 13, and I thought I was Laura Ingalls Wilder, and he was my Almanzo, and I thought, like, someday he will love me. And he was like, "You're a nice little girl." All right, well, if you were a supernatural creature, since you write about supernatural creatures, what would your weakness be, and what kind of creature would you be?
I would not, as much as I write about creatures of the night and all this, I would not be, because then I wouldn't see the spiders coming. If I had a weakness, it'd be, how Indiana Jones is with snakes. Well, that would be me with spiders. There's just no way. That would be my weakness. Somebody would like dangle an itsy bitsy spider in front of me and be no. If the world needed saving and there were spiders between me and I don't know, the glowing sword of freedom or whatever, the world would end.
It would be screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have to have a megaphone because I can direct people in an emergency, but I can't actually act. So we would both be standing there telling other people what to do.
There you go.
Let's see. What else do we want to ask here?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about why we would be awesome YA rebels?
Maybe. That would be good. I think, do you want to start with why you would
Okay,
be?
we would be awesome YA rebels because we go places, we know people, we have no problem talking to people, as you can tell. We sort of have the gift of gab ourselves. And so we would do great interviews, and we would do great, I don't know, we would play off each other very well, and I think we would do a mutual thing. So you wouldn't, get bored with just one of us, because you could get bored with both of us at the same time.
Well, and we're sort of like an infomercial. It's an agent-author relationship here. So you're getting like 3 for the price of 1, which is pretty decent.
And then the dogs show up on top of it. So really,
go.
What more could you want?
And if it's at all close, and we're close to making it or not making it, I will whip out the hamsters, and my extremely fat cat will just do a whole circus. So.
And my friends have an umbrella cockatoo we could probably
There you
buy.
go.
And so borrow, not
Yep.
buy, sorry. And it is the cuddliest, cutest thing in the whole world. So so there you go. We could have a whole menagerie. So pick us and you could have a menagerie.
There you go. I feel like we should be on American Idol. I need to start doing my number.
There you
Pick
go.
me.
All right, and now I have to reach across and do an extreme close-up to turn off the record button. And the dog is in my way and does not want me to do this.
Bye.
Ah, bye.